I think 14-inch form factors are the way to go, and that's how I feel after using Asus's Vivobook 14. I praise the laptop for its lightweight and portable nature, and it's lived up to it. Whether it's a quick document edit, sending that email, or just watching content, the laptop is a pretty good choice. Some might not like the color accents on the laptop's edges, but I quite prefer them because they do add a bit of character. Up front, you get a 14-inch 1080p Nano Edge display, which I say again is not the best quality. The IPS LCD panel is just about decent for general video watching, but there's major color change when viewing the panel at an angle. So say the Vivobook is on your lap, you'll struggle to accurately distinguish colors. What this laptop is good for is used on a flat surface when you're looking at the screen head on. I like that the screen has an 88% screen to bezel ratio, which means you get immersive content, but at the same time the laptop still includes things like a webcam whenever you'd need it. Almost certainly, recommending this laptop to a creative professional is really out of question. One, because we've talked a lot about the panel's color inaccuracy, but two, also because the laptop specifications. Sure, the Intel i7-8565U chip on board is no slouch, and neither is that MX150 dedicated NVIDIA graphics card or 16GB of RAM, but together the experience is certainly not the best caliber. Maybe small edits are possible, but if you heavily rely on video work and rendering, the times to export videos are just too long. But maybe for people who work with photos, this might be the ideal choice if you typically work off a separate monitor where color accuracy won't matter too much. Plus that 1TB of storage and 256GB SSD will come in really handy. Now let's move to the laptop's design. Here, another important aspect is the ErgoLift feature that the Vivobook comes with. With this sort of hinge, you get better ergonomics and heat dissipation. I've definitely noticed the laptop stay cooler with this, so that's definitely a plus point. And even using the keyboard feels just that bit more comfortable, even though you might not believe it. As I said in my unboxing, using the keyboard is just very satisfying with the travel the keys have and the backlighting support with 3 levels. It's still a bit mushy, but I think you'll get used to it with time. But more on the ErgoLift feature, I wish those supports were made of a softer rubber. They hurt when using the Vivobook on your lap, and if you're not careful, dragging the laptop around can damage your desk. So that's something Asus can address, but more importantly, the laptop's trackpad and speakers. You see, having such a wide array of ports makes this laptop versatile. A Type-C USB port, Type-A USB ports of 2.1 and 3.0 varieties, a headphone jack, and the HDMI port alongside others is a strong lineup. If Asus wanted, they could get away with limiting the port selection and having people rely on dongles. The fact that they haven't is good, but the fact that they've sacrificed on the basics is bad. The trackpad on the Vivobook 14 is something I'd stay far away from. There's no satisfying click and the experience is inconsistent. Sure, the fingerprint scanner for Windows Hello is a good addition, but that too is slow to recognize your finger. So if you're opting for the laptop, do consider getting an external mouse. As far as the speakers go, they're just not very good, and I addressed this in my unboxing too. The bottom placement distorts sound, and even though they're tuned, combined with the negatives of the laptop's display, you get an underwhelming experience overall. And that's not to say the port selection is complete by any means. For example, there's no Ethernet port, which is a pretty basic exclusion, whereas the SD card port is not full size, which for my use case makes it almost useless. But among all of that, the battery life on the Vivobook is solid. It not only has impressive standby times, but also use times compared to a more conventional laptop with higher grade specifications. And Asus's included charger is also pretty neat and portable. So at 3,999 dirhams, the Vivobook 14 is bordering in between a good and average purchase. For this price, there's many gaming alternatives out there with more power and a better display at the cost of poor battery life and less portability. The Vivobook 14 puts itself in a middle ground between the most bare-bone laptop offering and the lowest end gaming laptops. For someone who values portability and all-roundedness, I think the Vivobook is solid. But if you're someone who will be working on either just emails and Word documents or just high-end graphic-powered software, you'd want to consider more suitable alternatives which could be cheaper or have more power with a sacrifice in form factor at maybe a similar price tag. That's all for our take on the Asus Vivobook 14. Let us know what you think down in the comments and make sure to subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching, this was Vaibhav and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.